Okay.
Gino Fitter's Adventures. I'm still Gino, and these are still my adventures. And we're here today with Bill and Bill. So take it away, Bill.
Bill, I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, Bill from Colorado, an American. He's going to tell you his story.
From
briefly,
Denver. Okay.
Briefly, he's been here longer than we have. I think he came in 2002. He went back to Colorado for a period of time. He can clarify that for you. But he lives in Armenia now. He lives in Armenia now and is going to be moving to Medellin in the not too distant future, which I should say is my favorite city in the whole world.
Wow.
So I'll turn everything over to you.
Welcome, Bill. I grew up in New Mexico.
Gino. Thanks, Bill. And thank you, Gino. Yeah.
I grew up in New Mexico.
Oh,
New
yeah?
Mexico. Yeah.
Where? Yeah. So
Guam, New Mexico, Santa Rosa, Puerto de Luna, Tucumcari, Las Vegas.
I didn't know that New Mexico was part of the United States. I thought that was part of old Mexico.
Well, it's not really, but we kind of snuck it in there, you know.
It's too democratic to be part of the United States.
Well,
so tell me what you're up to, Bill.
What am I up to?
Yeah. How'd you get here? Why'd you get here?
Well, I came here in 2002. I was actually I was a middle school teacher. I was subbing at a middle school in Denver, and I was chatting with a guy, another teacher, during one of the breaks during the passing periods. I asked him what he was doing the next year, if he'd be returning to that middle school. And he said, no, man, I got a gig down in Central America. I think he was going, I don't know whether it was Honduras or where it was. I said, yeah, well, what's up with that? You know, and he said, well, no, they have these international schools all over the world, and they have these teaching conferences, these teaching fairs where they look for teachers with a couple of years of, Colorado, or not Colorado, excuse me, United States state certified teachers, and Canadian as well. And they have these jobs. I thought, oh yeah, I'd like to. So he told me about that evening I got on the internet and hooked up with, got in contact with one of these employment agencies that where they put these job fairs on for certified teachers looking for jobs, and international schools send principals and hiring people to fill their spots in these international schools that are structured just like United States schools. They also have British schools on the British system, but there are many international schools that have fifth grade teachers. And so basically I went. A couple of weeks later, I was went to Philadelphia to do a job fair, and it was really cool. Walk into this hotel that hosted this thing over this weekend, and it was like being in the United Nations. All these countries, and they had a table from various schools who were looking for. Like my case is, I saw a sixth grade math science teacher was needed in Colombia at the Colombia desk, and Armenia.
Nice. Yeah.
Armenia was one of the 3 or 4. I think Medellin was there as the international school. So anyway, that's how and they offered me the 2-year contract. And I remember I was divorced at the time, and again, this is 2002. I remember calling my kids back in Broomfield. They're having a party at my house back in Colorado, and remember, hey guys, listen, I got a job. I'm going to Colombia. Yeah. Hey, my dad's going to Colombia. Yeah, going crazy about dad going to. So I arrived. So I'll just never forget. Get off the plane. Just and flying from Bogota into Armenia, and just how green it was. And remember asking my school's director to pick me up. And our way, going, I'm just the beauty around here. I'm just kind of sort of speechless a little bit. I said, Jaime, how can I learn Spanish the quickest? He says, get a Colombian girlfriend. That's the way you do it.
Colombian dictionaries. We used to call them sleeping dictionaries.
That's like,
and you have to have one, and you have to learn Spanish to defend yourself.
Yeah, well, it certainly helped. But bottom line, make a long story short, I was next to it about 6 months before my contract was up. I met a lady who's now my wife. Met her in a bar, place called Pachamama's. It was a bar that was downtown Armenia, and Pachamama is, of course, mother of the earth. It's had magic So anyway, I ended up, so I met this lady who's, that was 2004. And so then I left, returned to Denver, started teaching again. Then a year later, she came and on a K1 visa that I sponsored her with. And then we spent the next, we got married in Denver and spent the next 5 years. That was 2006 we got married. So we were there until 2011. And actually, I was in Phoenix teaching, and I remember, but I was a middle school math teacher. But every year it seemed to be I was having such difficulty being a middle school. I had classroom management difficulties and all this stuff, and it was 1 year after. In theory, you should get better and better and smoother, but my class,
imagine that.
Oh, well, I had some middle school kids and trying to teach them math. I remember on Sunday evenings, I'd feel like the blues and the next 5 days, I've got to be with these little monsters.
So how long have you been in Armenia?
Well, basically, I went home and I told my wife, I said, hey, I got a contract maybe for next year as a middle school teacher. And she said, are you crazy? How about if we go to Armenia and maybe you can teach English? That was 2011. So that was my epiphany. So we moved here in 2011. So
cool.
Lived here and a couple of years ago we went back for about a year and a half. Moved back to Broomfield because I got a house there that I had to take care of. Had renters there for a long time.
So tell me about your living quarters or where you live and.
Well, matter of fact, I can even let me. Figure out how to reverse the camera here. I even give you a tour. Of course, that's above my pay grade to figure out how to return this. But yeah, we live in I guess I should point it outward. How do I, wait a minute, here it is. I knew it was here someplace. I'm out on our balcony right now.
Beautiful.
And this is across the street of, this is actually owned by a university here. There's a convention center behind that tree there. But we live in this is a 5-story apartment building. There are 2 apartments on each floor. And then you can see the entrance is just right here.
I should interject here and say Bill is only about 100 meters from me. Well, 200 meters.
Oh, okay. You guys live really close.
Here's Tommy, one of my schnauzers. This is my good buddy, Tommy. And Lucilla can wave. My wife is passing by. She's waving. Oh, she's we got a little domicilio action. Our lunch has just arrived. So here's Polly, our other schnauzer. So here, I'll walk in. Washing machine here.
Uh-oh, we lost him. We lost him.
Oh, still here? So anyway,
we lost you.
This is our wife, and then here's our kitchen.
We lost the video.
Lunch is here. This is baby.
There we go. We lost your video.
14,000 pesos for our lunch, which we split. 14,000 is $3.50.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because we lost your video there for a minute. Just give us a quick walk around and then give us some numbers on what it cost you to live in that nice place.
Our lunch, 14,000 pesos, about $3.50. We pay 1.7 million. We pay 1.7 million. Our rent just went up 1.7 million. This is our social bathroom here. Here's our living room. There's our main door. And then here's our studio. Studio here. Again,
you're paying about $400 a month.
Yeah. Roughly. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a brand new building, Gino. I don't. When was it built, Bill? A couple of years ago.
It's probably 20 years old. It's not brand new.
I didn't think it was that old.
Well, I'm not sure. Basically, this is an apartment building that is built. It also has the housing, the row houses.
That's right.
And so I think the housing complex is here had to be 15 years ago. Maybe, I don't know. I could have, but then this
So
apartment building there has been built.
is it a gated community?
Really sure, but
Bill?
Yeah,
Is it a gated
it is,
community?
It is.
there's another bedroom.
Yeah, we're having technical difficulties here. Okay, hey
might-
Bill, why don't you go sit back down and because you're going in and out. Well, at any rate, the other Bill.
And sorry, guys. Now
Hey,
here's
Bill?
looking out.
What's Bill's last name? Bloomfield? No.
Sisk.
Sis?
Sisk.
S-R. Okay.
Bloomfield is the city or the town in Colorado that he's
yeah.
from.
Why don't you get his attention if you can and have him sit down again?
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Anyway, I was moving around. Yeah, we pay.
I'll call him. I don't know if he'll answer.
Sorry, guys.
There he is. Okay,
I
we
don't
lost
maybe
you for a
having
while.
I don't know, maybe having three of us on at one time is maybe stretching. I don't know, but anyway, but life is good. We, our water is about about 100,000. Pay about $25 a month. Cable, we pay about 120,000, which is like $30 a month. It's very, very, very modest. So, yeah. So this is. Now I'm just kind of resting in this is my bedroom here, just kind of resting
So
here.
you're all in for how much, Bill?
You mean what's my monthly expenses?
Yeah, what's your monthly net?
Oh, I spend like zero on clothes, and I
Well, that's
I
obvious.
pay about $1,000 a month. About $1,000 a month. Obviously, I'm wearing an old Denver Nugget T-shirt here.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't own a car, unlike my wealthy neighbor Bill here. I don't own a car, so that
Well,
keeps
thanks
it
very much.
like these wealthy Canadians.
Hey,
Drive around
listen,
these-
you can't be at 1,000. I mean,
I can't.
I mean, our rent is similar. Mine's a little less, but I'm in at 650. I think maybe you're 700 or 750.
Well,
But in my 650 is $1 million for food too.
no, I drink that much in rum every month, Bill. For God's
Well,
sake.
Okay,
that.
well, now we got
But-
to the
Rum.
bottom of that,
Rum.
didn't we?
I mean, come on. I drink Ron Viejo rum, which is like 48,000 pesos. Come on.
Yeah, I know, it's and it's 180 in Colorado.
Okay,
Yeah, you
good.
got it.
Well,
No, I thought, I mean, we eat well. My wife is a wonderful cook and whatever. But, every time we go to Olympica right up the street here or Super Inter, we always spend easily 400,000 pesos, $100 because, we buy
so
a
you're
dog.
you're living really high on the hog.
Well, and we go out to eat, once a week, or which is a couple times a week. Eating out is at a very nice restaurant is like at La Fagata, for instance, that Bill knows. It's like 40,000 for a nice dinner, and then if you could have a drink or a couple of drinks, it might be it might be 60,000 each per person. And that's so
Cool.
divide that by 4. So
We're running a little long. We're running
Anyway.
a little long here,
okay.
but I just want to thank you, Bill, for sharing that with us. And I'd like to do it again because I'd like to do one with you on the whole teaching thing, because I have people asking me about that also. And
Sure.
because there's some people that don't make enough money to be real comfortable unless they could augment it a little with some teaching.
Yeah, I was online. Yeah, I did both. Locally teaching when I first got here. I taught at a little. That was my first ESL job when I arrived. And I worked at the university here for a while, and then online a fair amount too. So, Yeah, I've got
The
a
other
whole.
Bill, did you work in Colombia, Bill? The other Bill?
No,
No?
I've never worked.
Okay.
No, I've never worked. I don't have any talent that Colombia would want.
That's not true. Okay, guys. Well, we've gone a little long
Thanks, Gina.
here. What's that?
Thank you, Gina.
No, I
Thank you, Bill.
appreciate it. You guys are gonna out there in YouTube land are gonna see much more of these guys because we're gonna keep this rolling and probably get some of Bill's friends and some of the other Bill's friends to come on with us. And just so you guys can know, it's not just my perspective. It's these. We got a Canadian, we've got a Coloradan,
And a
we're
Washingtonian.
all three not very young. Yeah, and we all three have Colombian wives. So I mean, life is good.
I mean,
that being said-
seriously, how often do you ever see an American wife around here and a Colombian husband? Very rarely. Almost always.
I'd make a comment on that, but I'd get in a lot of trouble for that comment. So
No, I'm just not. I'm not making any. But I was thinking about that before we talked. It's just that how many times? I mean, I don't know a lot, and I'm not saying there's anything. You know, I wouldn't be here without my Colombian wife. I mean,
No.
and you know, so thank God to her. Sometimes, you know, this is interesting. When we first got married, some people thought, "Oh, this is a Colombian woman trying to get out of Colombia," but
Yeah.
actually, it was me trying to find my way, and a gringo wanted to stay in Colombia, so I
yeah,
used her.
that's the whole deal.
So,
All right, guys.
Anyway.
Well, I'm going to sign off.
Thank
And,
you.
Don't hang up. Okay, I'm just going to sign off. And remember,
Okay.
this is the first day of the rest of your life, and if nothing changes, nothing changes. I will see you on the flip side.